Hello comrades, the Honey Badger here with a new guide series. This time we're gonna cover Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. As you've seen from my past video, I had a lot of failures in this game and I learned it the hard way. Basically I saw what other content creators are showing and tried to do it myself. During the time I played, I noticed some quirks that other content creators are not fully explaining. So it's my turn, not only to give you the how part, like the others do, but also the why part of the game. Just to set the expectations right, although I'm using sandbox mode to explain stuff, please note that all my tips are generated towards realistic mode. I'll also do a let's play series on it too. If you enjoy the tutorials, please let me know in the comments. In today's video, we're gonna cover the beginning UI elements and shortcuts. A small caveat here, I'll explain more in the further videos, this is just the basics. Without further ado, let's jump in. So, beginning UI elements. Let's start from the bottom and then move anti-clockwise with the explication. Let's start from the general transportation. In here, it's everything vehicles related, be it roads, depots, maintenance, bus stations, etc., or train-specific stuff for cargo, for citizens, depots, semaphores, etc. Then you got pedestrians transportation, then ships, airplanes, and cableways. The next tab is for cargo and storage. Cargo is split into 4 categories. You got the general cargo, then you got your aggregates like gravel, asphalt, coal, etc. Then you got your liquids, which is oil, fuel, bitumen, etc. Then you got dry cargo, which is mostly cement and aluminium stuff. And the next tab will be electricity, everything related to electricity, everything related to plumbing, heating, and waste. Then the citizens tab, you guessed it, for citizens. And then the industry tab, you got the food production, you got the MISC, like the construction, clothes, etc. Then fossil fuels, metallurgy, and then advanced industry. The final tab is construction industry. This is usually where you start building your free construction offices at the beginning of the game. Then we got the terrain tools. In the terrain tools, you got raise and lower terrain, flatten parts, restoring soil. For example, maybe you have built something, deleted it, and you left with an ugly patch. Basically, you can use this button and it will restore the soil. Then, one of the most important tools that you have in terrain tools is tool for measurement. Basically, this will allow you to measure distances between certain points. For example, now I know that this road intersection has 135 meters. That is perfect for future references whenever I need to build the railway to decide where to put intersections to allow the trains to not be blocked. Moreover, if you see, every time I move my cursor, there is a height over cursor over here. This is important when playing with water and sewage, as water and sewage need to run downstream to go to the river or upstream to go to the city. This will help you decide if you ever need water pumps, like I have over here, or you just need to allow the water to freely flow. Perfect. That's all about the tool for measurement. Then you got to create a city area. Maybe you don't like where your auto-generated city area is and you want a new one. simply click and it will appear at the place. Moreover, you can delete the old city name, just like I'll delete the new one. Here we go. Perfect. Apart from this, you got the general demolish button. This will allow you to demolish everything with absolutely no issues, just as you saw over here. Let's move further down. We have the minimap over here, where you can see your resources on the map. If you feel like the minimap is way too small for you to see, you can hold this double arrows and you can zoom it in or zoom out. This is how it works. Perfect. Let's check out a bit the things. We can see where the where the coal deposits are, iron deposits, oil deposits, etc. You can also toggle the city names, and you're gonna see the border cities and also the cities inside your playing area. After the minimap, once we hide it back, we have this, I don't know exactly how to call it, maybe overlays. Basically, you can enable wireframe. This will allow you to see exactly the way you're building. Basically, if you want to build straight, you can do it now by simply following this wireframe, and that way you can actually follow a certain pattern. Moreover, on wireframe you can toggle it to be magnetic, which means that now it will always try to snap in place on the wireframe itself. You see? Each time I'm moving, it's snapping into place. After wireframe, you got topography. This will allow you to view wherever the mountains are and height elevation, and also check how the water, to have a simple guideline on how water will flow. And the second to last one is underground. This will allow you to view all of the underground pipes that you have in your city. Then there is the near snap function, F4, which allows you to snap things into place. For example, when connecting this road, I can make it snap to the road nearby. But I can also disable it, and this will give me more finer controls on how I like my road to be placed. You see, now it's not snapping to anything. Cool. Now let's move up a bit higher, and we have the building modes in here. We can have it expanded, and this will give us further details. We have auto building with rubles or dollars, and then you got build from resources. In build for resources, you got two special buttons: batch start construction and batch suspend construction. For example, if you have a lot of blueprints, let's go over here. Here we go, like this. You can batch start building them, and now all of them are unsuspended and can be built. Or you can batch suspend them all, and now all of the buildings that I've selected are automatically suspended from building. Moreover, you have this button, active construction. So basically, when I'm placing stuff down like this, they are already actively in construction mode. So that means that if it's connected to a road, a construction yard will search for this area and will start constructing it. However, if I have active construction off and I start building stuff, these will be suspended by default. The only way to enable it is to click this button to enable it, or batch start construction. So let's talk a bit about max workers without construction offices. If you got a construction and you have this number set to 100, that means that all of the people nearby will try to rush to this construction even if we don't have resources. As you can see at the moment, soon people should start coming in. Here we go. We have people that are occupying this area, but there's nothing to construct since there's no materials being brought. So this is a double-edged sword. Even though you can rely on this stuff here, it's better to have it to set to a small number like 10 or even 0. You can always decrease or increase the amounts directly from the UI. Let's pause back this construction. And let's move on to the next topic, the shortcuts bar. Up top, you have a shortcuts bar that you can open over here. The most popular things that you're using always to build, for example, roads, you can place them directly in the shortcuts bar. So now, instead of me needing to go to roads, select the road that I want, I just can press 2 and automatically the road that I put in shortcut is over here. Perfect. The same thing can happen to demolish. Maybe I want demolish on free. Here we go. And that's how you do it. Good. Let's then move on to the info bar. We have happiness over here. It will tell you the reasoning why people are happy or unhappy. Then you have the health bar, which tell you why people are unhealthy or healthy. As if you can see over here, 4% of my people are in a small polluted area. Most likely it's because this area over here, this factory, they are working here and they're getting polluted. Then you got the unemployed workers and the total workforce that you have. Please note that at the moment, this is global. This is not for a single city, but global. If you want to see for a single city, you're gonna need to build an accounting office. This will tell you only for this city what happened in it. Of course, it needs to be manned, so be careful if you truly need it or not. Good. The next thing is temperature, wind, and brightness. Over here, you can click to switch between them. However, the most important one is temperature. You can use wind and sunniness whenever you're building solar panels or wind turbines. However, I haven't played around with them too much. I don't consider them that useful. Then, moving on, you got the speeds, pause, normal speed and faster speed. Then the year you're on and the date. And also, whenever you're hovering on the day, you're gonna see a blue and dark blue bar. This represents the time of day in your city. So for example, if I speed this up, you're gonna see that at dark blue, it's nighttime. And at white blue, it's daytime. Cool. Afterwards, you got your dollars, and also you can see the import and export, and your rubles, the same import and export, a quick summary. Let's move on to this side. You got the settings over here. Then you got the resources status. In this, you can see all of the resources you have. And once you click on a resource, you can see where it's stored or where it's currently being taken. So for example, this dumper has 80 tons of asphalt purely sitting in the roadworks over here. The same with other stuff. Gravel, we can see that it's being, alcohol, we can see that it's being stored in buildings. Good, that's just a quick thing. You can have a quick overview of all the stuff you got on the map. Let's talk about population statistics. This is where you can view your happiness, alcohol addiction, government loyalty, etc. And also how many radios, TVs, computers your people have. Simply play around with the graph. If you go with all, you can see how the thing got increased or decreased based on the time. Perfect. The next one is by the way, in population statistics, you can also see the amount of adults living with parents. This usually happens when you don't have enough buildings to store your people. Therefore, you can, for example, keep it for later use, and whenever you're building a new flat, all of the adults from here will go into that flat. Next tab is all about economy and trade. In this screen, you can see everything that is exported and also imported. So basically from the Soviet bloc over here, I can see that I exported power, wastewater and mixed waste. Whilst in import side, I can see that I got food, water, coal and gravel. Perfect. Basically, whenever you're seeing a large number in import of resources, you can click on it and check what item costed you so much to import. For example, in my case, it was clothes over here. Good. The next one is domestic production and consumption. You can see the overall, how much you're producing, and which industry produces how much, basically, or how much is consumed. Then you got the resources movement. You can see how much it was produced versus how much it was exported. Prices on the global market. These we will cover in a further tutorial, because there are some quirks over here. For example, if we take aluminium, we can buy aluminium at $3,000 from the Soviet side, but we can sell it for 1,400 on the Western side. So be careful, because most of the prices are double on the Soviet side later down in the game. They start pretty close to each other at the beginning with a non-noticeable difference, but the more you advance, the more these prices will change. Especially be very careful at steel. This one is the hugest impact and the most killing for the population at the moment. Then you got your loans. You can check your loan in rubles or USDs. Also, tourism and crime and justice. Perfect. The next one is list of vehicles. Over here you can see the wear and tear of your vehicles and also the vehicle age. Vehicles theoretically should be replaced once they reach 20 years, especially if they are used constantly. Basically, each year past 20 years will limit the amount of wear and tear that can be repaired by the maintenance office. So having vehicles this old will heavily impact your maintenance office. Afterwards, you got the list of lines for your vehicles. Then this button, make a city. I've never used it. To be honest, I don't know what it does. Then you have the overlays. This is one of the most important UIs that you have. Basically, this will allow you to check around on what the citizens are having access to. And you see, for example, for alcohol, only these citizens have access to alcohol. The ones in the back here do not have access to alcohol at all. This is because the pub is pretty far away. And over here we have a second pub, and we would need to build another pub here so they have access to it. Then to culture, port, a church, of course no churches on the map, and access to hospitals. As you can see, almost all of them have access to hospitals except these guys. Most likely it's because of this station. Then you got access to education and networks and utilities. Also garbage collection. Resources, wherever resources are stored and how much. Then citizens' locations, wherever you got uneducated workers, normal workers, educated workers. Basically, most of my population is educated, 99%. So that's why it's the other three are not, the other two are not showing anything. Then wherever children are located, this helps you decide, okay, where do I need to build another kindergarten? And the same, adults living with parents, wherever they are. We can see he's over here. Citizens during free time, wherever the citizens will start going to. This will also help you decide, okay, how many workers do I need in order to satisfy my citizens? And also wherever tourists are. Then wherever you have living preferences, of course the same thing. Road vehicles, you can see your covered tools on the map, your concrete mixers wherever they are, etc. Your cranes, wherever they work. You see over here it's a risk construction and there's a tower crane here, etc. The same for trains if you have them, ships, airplanes and helicopters, and also buildings. You can check wherever your broadcasting buildings are, cinemas, city halls, etc. And now the most important thing of all, building property. Basically, in here you can filter by multiple things. Let's go with voltage. This will allow you to check wherever your power grid can successfully handle the location. You see that everyone is having 229 volts except for the radio station and also this pub. This means that the pub and radio station don't have enough power to function properly. So that means over here we have a power problem which we need to check and remediate. Then you got the wattage usage, how much everything is using, how many megawatts per day. Then interior amount of heat. You need to check this one as civilians during winter time are comfortable at 20 degrees. Everything below 20 degrees starts from 0% chance to getting ill to 100% chance to getting ill if you're below 0 degrees. So if your temperature in buildings is below 20 degrees, your hospitals will start getting a lot of patients. Then you got the heat water tanks, which you can check how much heat is being produced. The water pressure that you have, this is a great way to check if your water infrastructure can handle the amount of people. You can also go into underground mode and the water will always show green, red or yellow if you have problems. The same with water flow, how much water goes through the pipes. Sewage flow, how the sewages are working and if it's red or not. As we can see over here, it's starting to get mostly red. That means that we have a problem here. Why is this being blocked? It seems like we're not having enough sewage power to push all of the sewage down. So this is a problem that we need to fix. Then we have construction. This will show you the percentage of construction you need to do. Free flats, how many spaces are in each flat for citizens to actually live in. Productivity of your workers. This will mostly show on factories, and you can see that wherever, for example, this one, it has an 11% productivity. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. In my case, for example, it's good because I limited the amount of workers that can work here. Afterwards, you got waste management, and also it will show you which type of waste you're dealing with. If you got big garbage containers, like over here, they're gonna appear as a big garbage container. If you got small garbage containers, for example, on the city side, usually you got these, they're gonna show as small garbage containers. Then wear and tear of the buildings, fertility, which I don't have any farms to show you, and reconstruction, the percentage of how much reconstruction is done. Good. The next one is construction offices assigned to. On this one, you can assign offices to your construction building. By clicking the 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., you can assign each construction building. Then, by pressing tab, you can switch between either assign construction or reconstruction or machine replacement or cancel construction mode. Let's assign construction. Everyone needs to reconstruct this building. Good. You can also have multiple quick selections that only work on this screen. So basically, although I have shortcuts set over here for roads and demolition, if I press 2 button, it will switch to my next construction offices, next one on 3, and on 4 next one. This is a great way to manage the construction offices that you have. Proper example is when building asphalt roads. Most of the time, you do not need workers for building asphalt roads. Everything can be done with machinery. Therefore, there's absolutely no reason to have buses transporting workforce when building an asphalt road. So what I usually do is always have the roadworks, which are construction offices filled with rollers, pavers, etc., separate from my building works that contain all of the other necessary things. Of course, in my building works, I'm also including the road workstation, because inside the road works, you got dumpers that can also be used by the building works offices. Cool. With that out of the way, the next one is automatic vehicle replacement. I've already explained before, if your vehicle is older than 20 years, it will be harder to maintain, so you can enable it if needed from here. Then notifications, and if you got mods or editor buildings, you can play around with this. I don't have any mods, therefore I don't have anything here. And also a very basic questions and answers directly from the game developers. For example, where do citizens come from? Babies. Did you expect another answer? I'm not sure. Okay. Moreover, an obscure shortcut that I've not seen being displayed but used by other content creators is the turbo speed of time. Right now, I'm in the second faster speed at the moment. You can play like this, however, construction of buildings and other shenanigans will take a very, very long time. So what usually I do is press Ctrl and numpad 1 or numpad 2 to speed up the time even further. This is numpad 1 speed. And this is numpad 2 speed. Perfect. Be very careful when using numpad 2 speed, as this may introduce some game bugs. Apart from the fact that citizens will travel slower and sometimes goods will be missing from shops randomly without any problems, also the construction offices suffer because you might have vehicles that are filled with stuff that it's a bug. For example, this dumper is filled with 1.1 tons of gravel without it being needed to be filled. Basically, this is a leftover from an old construction that was done in 2 times speed. And that's all I wanted to share about UI elements of this game. Please let me know down in the comments if you found this tutorial helpful. I'm interested to see what you've learned new from this video. Moreover, if you have topics in mind, please suggest them there, as I'm very viewer focused and I read all the comments. Also, please do like and subscribe, as this helps the channel grow and keeps me motivated to continue doing this hobby. Moreover, YouTube might buy me coffee in the future if I reach 1000 subscribers. Until next time, I'm the Honey Badger, and I'm out.